I'm John Roberts.
And I'm Oliver Isaac. And we'll be presenting about our gum sticks MIME, which stands for Mobile Infrared Motion Eye Detection System. Behold the MIME. The MIME has two LEDs, a green LED and a red LED to indicate status. It runs on the gum sticks board and uses Wi-Fi to communicate. Let's turn it on. To turn it on, we can plug it in. Right now, it's going through the normal Linux boot process, and this will take about 30 seconds. The blue LEDs are flashing, indicating that we now have network communication, and pretty soon the green LED will flash 3 times. When it flashes, that indicates that our program is up and running. So now we know that our system is fully initialized and ready to detect motion.
So the original idea was to have an infrared motion sensor. Uses infrared to detect motion. Upon starting up, it takes about 2 or 3 seconds to take a screenshot of the room, and anytime it notices motion, it will send a signal. It'll set it to low. So unfortunately we couldn't get it working. We did some tests, played around with it a bit, but we could not get the signal out of the alarm wire. So we're going to simulate that by reading a file. This is very comparable to what Gumsticks uses. Everything on Gumsticks, like the LEDs and everything else, is actually file based. You just read and write to files in order to show input and output. So we're essentially doing the same thing. We'll just SSH into the Gumsticks and write a 1 to a file to simulate that motion was detected.
Unfortunately, the USB battery pack we have to power the device doesn't work. It only provides 4.5 volts, whereas the gum sticks requires 5 volts. This is why we currently have it wired to the actual electrical socket. If we actually had a 5 volts USB power device that we could plug it into, this device would be fully wireless within the Wi-Fi network. When we detect motion, the red LED will flash for 1 second to indicate the motion was detected.
We're actually SSH into the Gumsticks right now, and we have a script on here. It's called simulate input. All simulate input is it writes a 1 to iofile.dat. When we run simulate input, it writes the 1, and then the program on the Gumsticks reads that. So here we'll show you the Gumsticks, and I'm about to run the simulate file. So as you can see, as simulate input was ran, the red LED flashed because input was detected.
We're not actually running any code on John's computer or on my computer. Rather, we're running all the code on the Gumsticks, which is communicating via Wi-Fi over the actual internet using UDP to a server located in Utah. So while we do have the computers up and running to indicate network status and other such stuff, it's simply an SSH session into either my server on my computer or into the Gumstick system on John's computer. This is the online interface for managing the MIME system. It tells you when the last alert was detected. It also allows you to set which email address is sent to and can enable and disable alerts. It also allows you to set the inter-alert delay. This is the amount of time there must be no motion before it will send the next alert. So currently at 10 seconds, this means that if there's motion every 9 seconds, it will only send 1 alert. However, if there's a 10-second pause of motion, it will send an alert after the next motion event. For ease of interoperability between the server setting script and our server running script, we wrote our server script in PHP. So here we're running PHP, gumstickserver.php, and that is the script that receives any communication from the Gumsticks device. Once again, this is running on the server in Utah, not on my local device. So John's going to simulate a motion event, and we'll see that we pop up an alert.
Simulating motion event now.
So we receive motion, and we see that motion was detected. It gives the timestamp that was detected at, and it also says that it was emailed to John at his email address. So now, John has an email up on his computer indicating from the Gumsticks device that motion was detected and tells him when motion was detected at.
Okay, so originally, when we started the process of UDP communication, we did an ad hoc network. We realized though, as soon as we accomplished this, that wasn't very practical for a real life setting. So what we did is we connected the gum sticks to our access point in our house. To do this, we didn't do authentication. We removed authentication from the access point and actually just did a MAC bypass list. So anything on the list with the certain MAC address would have internet access. This was necessary in order to talk to Oliver's server in Utah. It had to be connected to the internet, so that's why we connected it to the access point.
We're using UDP to communicate with the server. We decided to use UDP because due to the fact that there's no handshake as there's a TCP, we can just broadcast our packets out to the server and hopefully the server catches them. This is advantageous because we want to be able to send out a lot of motion events really quickly to the server, and due to the no handshake, UDP can just throw them out.
Thanks for watching this presentation on our Gumsticks project, MIME.